Zubik versus Burwell, more commonly known as the Little Sisters of the Poor case. It's one of the most important religious freedom cases of the year. This case was actually a combination of quite a few cases from around the country, all of which had been decided in favor of the government. It arose when Congress authorized the administration to designate certain preventive services that have to be provided through employer health care plans. And the administration chose to include a range of contraceptive services, which includes 4 that many people regard as abortifacients. One complicating factor in this case is the fact that Congress itself did not really speak to this issue. Congress passed the Affordable Care Act, giving very broad discretion to the administration to define certain terms. And the question is whether it comports with the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. But the underlying question in these cases is whether the government can force private people, private organizations, even religious organizations, to do their bidding when that would violate the religious conscience of those individuals or those organizations. Every one of the courts of appeals had held that the organizations like the Little Sisters of the Poor or Wheaton College or a Catholic University did not suffer any kind of a substantial burden on their exercise of religion. But on May 16th, the court rendered a unanimous per curiam ruling, sending all these cases back for further deliberations by the lower court. This is a highly unusual action on the part of the court, and it's more unusual when you unpack the details of the legal issues in the case. The court opinion explicitly states, and I quote, "The court expresses no view on the merits of these cases." So we can't say that this opinion actually establishes any view on the merits, but the court unanimously sent the cases back to the lower courts to consider a compromise under which the government would be able to provide health care coverage of these contraceptive services through the regular insurance companies, but without any involvement on the part of the religious institutions. The religious liberty issue in this case specifically was resolved. Well, we don't know the final resolution, but at least it looks, at least for the time being, that it was resolved in favor of the plaintiffs, that there will be no fines and punishments against Little Sisters and other organizations for following their religious conscience. Before this case came to the court, there were already some $70 million in fines against the various parties. It looks as though those are completely wiped out. But it was not resolved in the broader sense, and that there is no resolution of the underlying legal question, and that's being left for the future.